Alright, this is going to be a quick introduction to the Boxify node. So first let's just type in Boxify here and see what I get. And this creates a node which has these, which presents these cubes. I'll show you later what these are for, but understand that those are just a viewport display. They are not part of, they're not part of your map itself now. So let's go to gridmap folder. I do not need to use the one that is part of my other one. Let's see, testing. And I have a Boxify one here already, but it's already filled with stuff. Actually, let's just go ahead and delete those. Lingo main testing, Boxify, and then let's just select this current folder. My base grid map is going to be gridmap, and I'm going to make a single meshify handle at 12.5. And as you can see, that has now created a little handle that I can actually drag about in space. That if I actually click on it and not on something else, oh, I moved the entire node, that's why. So now I can actually drag this about in space and move it how I want. It's not going to update this until I click like that, just because of the way that add-ons work in Godot. It's actually a little bit frustrating. There is a way to change that by making an entire inspector plugin. I'm not going to make that just for the sake of updating values. You don't need precise values for that anyways. And I'm just going to make the child to also grid map here. So let's first meshify, and you can see that this did a very quick version of, the familiar meshification that from Chris Murder gridmap converters, which is mostly Chris's work, not much mine. And you might be wondering what the magic is. So let's take this square, which is what this handle is indicating. It's indicating this square will get demeshed, and let us ready demeshify. And now you will see the magic. So let's just take this here and delete this that was still meshified, and let's actually click on the Boxify node. That border right there was exactly where it meshified and demeshified. And you can see there's another border that's partly in the floor here that you can't see that goes straight out this door. But so I only demeshed a single cube of my area. So I'm able to mesh and demesh as I want. Because what this does is, let's actually go down to testing in here, and let's open up Boxify, and you'll see these TSCNs. Let's open one of them. And you can see this is only a grid map that contains only the portion that was inside this 25 by 25 by 25 cube. So that's essentially what Boxify does. It will separate it into 25 by 25 by 25 cube grid maps that you can then meshify and demeshify at will. So meshifying will always meshify every grid map, while demeshify will only demeshify the ones that have a handle inside them. So you probably only need one handle at a time. You're probably going to be working on a small editing a small area at a time. But otherwise, you can just, if you need to modify a large area all at once, you can make like 9 handles, then do like 90 meshifies. It's just for convenience sake. Now, I should also note that for convenience sake, I can add something to another one of these, say over here. And now when I click on meshify, it has now added that to the meshes here. So I can now move this mesh, which is, nope, I don't want that mesh, I want this one. This mesh now contains all those red blocks I put there, even though it wasn't previously, it wasn't previously in the grid map. The reason why it did that is it will load up every grid map where there's new objects in it, and it will combine them. So I cannot delete things without demeshifying it, but I can add things to another mesh. So, it'll be pretty obvious when I'm going in that I'm trying to mess around. I'm making a new road here, whatever, new doorway, and then I try to delete this and it doesn't work. Okay, I know that's been meshified. I can demeshify that, make a door, remeshify everything. So that is the Boxify node, and the reason why it's able to give you this visualization is because it's also packaged with an add-on, and that's pretty much it. The reason you would want to use the Boxifier node is if you are making a large map and it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher to load in, and you don't want to turn your grid maps into spatials right away because that would take so much effort to edit anything. Like if I wanted to knock a door here, I just move this over so I have it on the right spot and demeshify, and now all of this is part of the grid map. Don't zoom in like that, please. And I can just knock a door in here. Boom. Done. That's as easy as it is. So this ensures that you can have high performance in terms of loading and unloading your maps, and also high performance in terms of making edits. It's not quite at the level of being able to live edit. I also tried a version of that did demeshified and meshified as you were modifying the grid map, and it ended up with problems, as you might expect. I think this is a good compromise, and it's very simple and easy to understand. So that is the Boxify node. Now, to get the Boxify node, you will want to go into... Oh, you can't actually see add-ons in this window. Okay. Just a second. I will need to record in a different mode so that I can... Wait, I should be able to... Window capture... display capture. Now you can see my entire thing. So now if I go to Godot Steamworks, it's where I have my Lingo main, add-ons. Here I have 40 add-ons, and here's where the Boxify lives. So you'll need to take this add-ons folder and just plop it down in add-ons. It should contain these three things. I have this cleaned up right now. I have a lot more add-ons for my own purposes, and for the purposes of this video, I didn't want to show you all that. Now, I don't know why 000 would be nowhere on disk, but that's fine. That doesn't mean anything. Now you want to, now that you have it in your folder there, you want to go over to Project Settings and Plugins, and you want to click that 40 add-ons to enable. And that just shows you this nice red grid, so you can see what it's going to meshify and demeshify as you, well, it's going to meshify everything. It shows you what it's going to demeshify and where the handles are. Now I should note, if you place the handle on a corner of the grid, like 000, it will also still work. It's going to demeshify the one in the positive direction. So it's going to demeshify this grid. And as we can see that if we press it here, these are the ones that just converted back to gridmap. But I find that putting it, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5 is nice into the center of it, and that becomes very easy to see which box it's going to affect, as opposed to not necessarily realizing which one it's going to affect. So that's the Boxify node.